Good evening, people, and welcome to the United Real Therapy people. Therapy Army, where are you? Last be having you. This is an emergency. Last be having you, Therapy Army. Last be having you. This is a Liverpool, Manchester United match preview. Plus, all related news, all related Man United news. But I've been away, people. I've been away. I hardly ever watched the Norwich game. Lots happened since we went live, people. How are we doing? Big up to every one of you. Tom, I've sent you the link, bro. Jump on, lad. Jump on. Big up. I fear we'll get destroyed tomorrow by Liverpool at Anfield. Salah, Mane, Jota, Diaz, Firmino from the bench is going to be, what does it say? It's going to be bullied by Harry fucking Maguire tomorrow. One positive, McTominay not playing. Wow. Zaim Zabah. Big up. Big up all you Therapy Army massive. How are we doing? How are we feeling? Cricket score. I've said it, people. I've said it. Cricket bloody score. It could be. It could be a cricket score tomorrow. But you know what? We're not cowards. Man United, even though man like Bruno's trying to make sure he's involved in a crash, you know what I mean? Man's trying to miss the game, you know. Man's smashing his car against normal road users. So he's thinking, I need to be out of this game. I need to be out of this game. And he's behaving like that. But you know what? It is what it is. Genuinely, it is what it is. We need people to get counted tomorrow. But these guys, for me, have already given up, if you ask me. Season's already done. Absolutely done for them. Norwich, bottom of the league, 2-0 up, 2-2, running to the rescue. That's our form, people. That's our form. Big up, man. Big up to every one of you, man. Yo, big up my friend David Lighty, man. Congratulations to David and his wife, Tony. What a brilliant wedding. Comedy FC. Here we go. Here we go. Comedy FC. It's shambles, mate. It's Cricket Scott FC tomorrow, mate. That's what it is. Cricket Scott FC. Cheers. Oh, my God. Big up, man like Joey. I've not seen man like Joey for ages, man. Big up to every one of you in the Therapy Army, man. Genuinely, big up. Listen, big game tomorrow. Obviously, at the beginning of every season, because of the rivalry between Man United and Liverpool, it's the first fixture everybody looks at. It's the first fixture we all look at. It's the first one. We go, right, when's the Anfield game? When's the OT game? Can I get tickets for that game? Can I try to sneak a one away game? This, I'm telling you, this to me, in over like nearly 30 years or whatever, 20 odd years of watching Man United, this is probably the worst season. It's the worst pathetic players I've ever seen. We might finish with I think the lowest points tally in a season since the invention of the Premier League. So get ready, people. Get ready. Make sure you've got your therapy. Make sure you know what you're doing after the game tomorrow. Me and Saeed will be here. Fingers crossed. Saeed will be here. I'm going to be on his watch along. He's going to come here. We're going to watch the game here. So it's going to be a very interesting game tomorrow. But we're going to get whacked. It's a whacking. We're going to get whacked. We're going to get whacked. Tom, how are you? Welcome to United Real Therapy.
Yeah, not bad, Norton. How was you?
I was, please, are you still in Barcelona?
No. I've come back now. I've come back to the madness.
Back to life. Back to reality. How's the holiday blues? How's the holiday blues, man? Big up yourself, man. Big up Tom, man. Where's the love for Tom, people? Big up Khalis Mohamedin Lassie. Big up Samuli. You know what? Every one of you, Realist TV. Big up to every one of you, people, man. Please smash a like on the video. We're going to be going through, obviously, anything to unpack all of the news, all the Man United related news. We're going to be looking at Liverpool and Manchester United. I mean, the build-up, it's not much to build up, because if it's going to be competitive, we would talk about it in intense. You know what I mean? The biggest thing we have to say is, I hope we don't get another 5-0, or hopefully it's not a cricket score. I think the way we defended, I saw the highlights against Norwich, the way we defended, Tom, but it was a joke. But Tom, how are you? How was your holiday? Big up, bro.
Yeah. It were good anyway. Nice to get away and everything every now and then. With obviously everything that happened with COVID and stuff. So first proper holiday abroad and stuff with it all and that. So it weren't too bad to get away for a bit and stuff. And I mean, you need it, don't you, for Man United? Put it that way. You need it. I mean, you went to Las Palmas, I went to Barcelona, you know, and you always need those bit of luxuries, I guess, and those bit of getaways to take your mind away from everything, work, 100%. The lot, everything. So anyway, Nuruddin, just check the private chat a minute. I've just sent you anyway, because I'm needing to send some emails on my phone. So just try to send a link to the other account that I've just given you.
I think I've sent it to both. You know, can you just double check both accounts?
You sent it twice to this one. That's why.
Oh, is that what I've done? Oh.
No, it's because I was just sending some emails through it, and I thought I'll post it to him so then he can send it to the other one.
Yeah.
Because I'm just doing some late stuff. That's all.
There you go. Journalist work. Never done, is it? It's never done.
No, it's not at these hours. It's not. I might as well stay till 4 in the morning. I mean, I might do something actually entertaining though. I might watch Man United tomorrow. That's the problem.
Oh gosh. Honestly.
Anyway, I'll just jump onto the other one now. Anyway, so be 2 minutes.
Send it on there. I've sent it on there, bro. So big up. Send it to CM. See if it's about. Jump on if you're about, bro. Yeah, man. Big up to every one of you, like we said. There we go. Fan arrives. Yes, Ev. How are you, bro?
I'm all good. Yourself?
Yeah, man. Big up to Irfan. Smashed it on Saturday night. Absolute banging.
Recording didn't work though, man.
That kills me. But you know, I keep leaving it to chance anyway.
No. Listen, we'll get it right. Don't worry. We'll get it right next one. We'll get it right. Don't worry. We'll get it right.
People getting at me on Twitter saying, when are you getting the podcast? So we need to get this together, Irfan. Next week is our final. By next week, at the end of next week, we should have a podcast on a new channel. Fingers crossed, people.
I think it'd be interesting to know what your the fans on United Radiotherapy, what their interests are outside of football. What else do they want to learn about life and stuff? You know, but that we could share. You know, they can talk.
Everything we said. Loads of them get in touch with me saying we're going to talk about cinema, music. Obviously, like yourself, music.
Can I just say to all the people listening here? You guys do not understand how much of an expert on film Nuruddin is. You've got no idea. You people don't understand. This man has worked in independent cinema at the number one independent cinema house, Corner House, which is now Home, for how many years, Nuruddin?
Almost, 15 years, 16 years.
15 years. So like, you know, once you get past Hollywood and, you know, big corporate film, which are films like just to make money. Once you get into the art of film, like I'm into the art of music,
the cheeseburger.
Yeah, but once you get into cheeseburger, once you get past film and understand the artistry in film, you're going to see a side to Nuruddin you don't even understand. This guy's got. It'll shock you what he knows about film. Iranian film, Pakistani film, American film, Czechoslovakian film, Chilean film, Japanese film. It'll blow your brains apart. So in a way, you should be excited to get to know the other side of Nuruddin and not just the football Man United crazy fundamentalist Man United fan that he is. There's other stuff and it will surprise you. That's what I'm looking forward to share with you guys.
Yeah, man. Big up, Effa. Listen, went to the wedding. Came back late, fatigued, left early in the morning, came back around 12 o'clock. I was like, take me to Irfan, man. Take me to Irfan because I need to get that release. And Irfan absolutely...
Hey, wait a second, Nuruddin. Considering that you got up at 6:30 in the morning, came to the party. What time do you rock up? You came up quite early. I
came about just close to 12 o'clock.
So the man danced like there's no way that you could have been up to 6:30 to show that you could dance that hard from 12 o'clock till 3:30 in the morning after you've been to a wedding. Go up at 6:30 minutes to go to a wedding in Hull. You're still fit and healthy, bro. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You're
yeah.
man, I've shared the video on my Instagram page, and everyone's talking about that video at the moment. I'm getting private messages about that video of you busting the moves.
Get him on Strictly. Get him on Strictly, guys. Come on.
Oh, no.
Let's get him on there.
Strictly ain't ready for me.
Strictly's got too much black African funk in him to be on Strictly. Strictly's too straight for this guy. He's different level to them guys. Look at the video. Go on my Instagram page and look at the video of him dancing. You will not believe it's the same guy. You won't believe it.
Listen, big up, man. Listen, it's been one of those seasons there, fan.
Yeah.
I've had to shed a lot of
no, I could see it. I could see it. You dance like dance is the only pleasure you got left in life. You got nothing else. That's what I saw.
Cinema, dance, being with my friends, being around loved ones. They're the only things. Cinema, dance.
Yeah, wow.
And being around loved ones and being in nature. You know,
Yeah.
they're the things that has saved me because Man United, like I was saying there, fam.
Yeah.
Man, this is going to be the worst season. Do you remember since the Premier League a worst end to a season? Season.
No, in my lifetime, supporting Man United since '77. I mean, obviously, I'm a bit more. I'm an adult these days, but when I was a kid, I still can't remember ever in my life having a season like this where my emotions have gone from one extreme to the other, day to day, week by week. I can't think of another season like this. I cannot in my lifetime, especially because of all the. I mean, this makes a Greek tragedy seem like a cliche. United season. That's what it makes it seem like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how bizarre and crazy. I mean, like, you know, we were all laughing at Arsenal last year, but boy, did the forces of the world come back with a vengeance to all us lot who were laughing at Arsenal last year. It really did come back. We got the biggest slap that you could ever think of that any team could get this year. We got the biggest one ever.
Reality check.
Yeah.
What happened this season, people? It's the collapse of Man United DNA, all of this nicey things, all of this lack of experience, lack of talent from the coaching. Me and Irfan Tom, we spoke loads of times on this channel. Therapy Army, you know what we're talking about. We spoke so many times about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needing better coaching, better. And the fact that he didn't do the coaching, he's thinking like he's made it. He's some big star. It's absolutely incredible. Big up CM. Big up Young G. Listen, happy Easter to every one of you. You know, a happy Easter. Shout out to all my Christian people throughout worldwide. Those who are still fasting, Ramadan Kareem. Big up to every one of you. Big up to all my Jewish
friends as well.
You know what? Big up to all of you. It's I think every 35 years apparently, where the three Abrahamic religions join through our celebration. So Ramadan, you've got Easter, and then Jewish celebration is
Passover. Was it Passover?
Passover, yes.
Passover, yes.
Yeah, every 33
mad
years.
It's mad.
So those of you who are religious, those of you who are practicing, happy Easter, happy Passover. You know what I mean? Ramadan Kareem to Mubarak to all of you as well.
And those of you not, enjoyed your holiday. Those of you not.
Yeah.
You enjoyed your holidays.
Listen, at the end of the day, man, I'm telling you now, if it wasn't for music, if it wasn't for film, if it wasn't for nature, if it wasn't for you, the community, I would have gone bananas. I wouldn't gone bonkers. United lose, I take it to heart, people. Irfan will tell you. It ruins me.
But with the therapy army, we've all been grieving together, like our arms around each other, virtually to get through this. Please save me from the madness, because you know this kind of thing is driving people. It's driving us all mad. Honestly, it's like we're developing mental health problems because of supporting this team. That's what they've done to us this year.
Yeah, and those of you, listen, here we go. So I'm gonna go with it straight away. Actually, those of you who are connoisseur of cinema, the film you need to check out. It's on Netflix. It's called Boiling Point. Boiling Point. Netflix. It's one of the best English and British films I've seen in a long time. Boiling Point. So realistic.
We disagreed on it. We disagreed on it in subtle detail, but we'll get to that.
Graham is one of the most realistic dialogue I've seen in a British film in a long, long time.
Yeah.
And all of the reality of it, the kind of like the it's almost claustrophobic nature of it, the closeness, that the fact that it was all done in one shot. Brilliant film. Brilliant.
But I would have preferred if Mike Lee or Ken Loach had made that film. I'd prefer it if they did.
Listen, I know that, but shout out Stephen Graham. Obviously, he's
he's made. He was made for that role. He was made for that role. Yeah,
he's brilliant. CM, talk to me, Young Don. How's the dissertation going?
Nah, it's great. I submitted it. It's been a week.
Oh,
now,
congratulations!
Good, congrats.
I know what that is like. I know what that submitting that dissertation is like. It's like that car that was on top of my head is finally dropped off it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
CM, let the people know what your dissertation was about, man. Let the people know.
Yeah.
So it was about how the NBA 3-point shot has, developed the game as a whole, how it's changed it, not just on the court, but off of it as well. How the game is, perceived, the pace of the game. It speaks about so many things in terms of how coaches just look at the way the game is played, how players can be utilized, how they've increased the frequency of the shot. So the 3-point shot is a more efficient shot than the 2-point shot. The layup that used to be more prominent in the 90s, 80s, when you considered big men. They were the popular position back in those days, where you'd post them up and stuff like that. Yeah. Now big men, they're more, accustomed to staying either on the 3-point line or becoming more versatile to fit in today's game.
Crazy, it's crazy.
Listen, shout out CM, man. CM, so the weight is being lifted. You've took the weight, took it off your shoulders, slammed it. Talk to me. What's the day been like?
Bro, wait a second. But what a fascinating dissertation to write about, man.
Listen,
I wish I did a dissertation like that, man. I mean, I remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, so I remember him. And then the other guy I used to love before all the new guys, I used to love a guy for Boston Celtics called Larry Bird. I used to love watching this guy play. So I've seen the free throw, how accurate it used to be, and now it's like almost a second shot. It's like every other shot these days, and it goes in. I remember how rare it used to be. So that's my little bit of basketball. But the fact the game has gone to a different level now, bro. It's a different level, man. It's insane the accuracy these guys have these days. It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
How are you feeling? What have you done? Eating? Have you handed in all the other essays as well?
So I have 2 more that I'm currently doing, and then I'll be done for the year.
But the big weight is gone. The big weight is gone,
yeah.
So these 2 essays are they're not bringing that level of intensity. For me, when I was doing my dissertation, I remember I was eating and sleeping. I was dreaming about my dissertation. I was dreaming about the structure. That's how mad it was.
University is crazy because the first 2 years you don't do anything, and the third year is like all the rest of the time put in 3 months.
That's so true. So true.
Crazy university, crazy.
But you studied in the 18th century, innit? That's
yeah. Well, 80s and 90s. Listen, the pressure was on, man. My practice started when I was 12.
Yeah, but let the people know what you studied. What was your degree?
I did chemistry. Yeah.
Scientist in
I'm from mum and dad strict. They're school teacher types. They forced me to do it. I should have done music, man.
Were the science teachers, Irfan?
Yeah, my mum was. My dad wasn't. My mum was a primary school teacher.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was a teacher. Yeah,
big up.
We had academic. We had the slap, the slipper, everything. If we weren't reading or doing something.
Oh, the cane as well. I remember that.
Listen, I went to school where my physics teacher was called Captain Harry Grange, and used to have a stick and used to bang it on the floor. Open the windows. It was a strict, boys, sort of independent school. So strict. I had no freedom till I discovered the Hacienda in the 80s. I had no freedom.
See, but you know what? To me, every science is all about the mix, innit? It's about creativity.
Yeah, it is.
Who would have thought doing a chemistry degree will get you into the mix?
I know the
real science.
But to tell you the truth, though, when I look about it, right, and this is the thing we'll talk about in the podcast. What is that guy called on the TED Talks who breaks down education in the most incredible way? What's he called? You must have seen him. Yeah, Tom, you must have seen this guy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm trying to think of his name.
Everyone here who is just a human being, one of a therapy army, please go on the TED Talks and listen to the TED Talk by that. He's an educationalist, for want of a better word, but he analyzes how people are taught, and he does a brilliant TED Talk on it. Now, if I'd have had that TED Talk when I was 12, I would be a different person now. I'd be a completely different person, because being taught in the 70s and 80s and 90s, like I went through, was not a good thing. It was so old school, and it was not a good way. But hopefully now in a modern era, but via this guy on TED Talks, people are learning. For example, in Finland, there's no such thing as homework for school kids. And they are the happiest school children in the world. And you get the most creativity out of them because they don't have this archaic way of teaching you.
So, listen, are you talking about Sir Ken Robinson?
That's the guy.
That's
the
him,
guy.
yeah.
Creativity. I remember watching that TED Talk a long time.
Anyone here today, Therapy Army, if you want to learn anything in life with your children, or if you're still young enough to be studying, go and listen to this talk by Sir Ken Robinson on TED Talks about how people are taught and how it affects you, and how some of it is very good and some of it is very, very bad.
The question he asked, question was, do schools kill creativity?
Yeah. It's an amazing talk. I really recommend every one of you, please listen to that talk by Sir Ken Robinson.
There we go. You see, you come into this, you're already getting a bit of insight into the podcast me and Irfan are going to be doing weekly. CM, next journalist, the next superstar journalist out here, people. That's what he's doing. So the next 2 essays, hopefully they will go. And now I won't feel guilty for not inviting you, because I'm like, I can't invite him.
He hasn't got headspace to do it. He hasn't got, honestly, he has not got
in Man United. And a dissertation, you can't.
No, it's a blessing to run away from Man United. What a perfect way to run away, man. Seriously.
I literally had to let go.
What has been missing? Misery. No.
Exactly. See him have to let go, man. It's like, let go. See him a bit United. I need to do this dissertation. See him. This is probably one of the youngest on the panel out here. This is, me and Evan just talked about it. This is probably the worst season in your lifetime, I think, watching Man United, in terms of the way that it's tittered, the way that it's gone, the way the players have given up, the way we look, how disjointed we are. Could you remember even a worse season than this? Even how Moyes took the champions to 7th. I think this is far more worse than that. And I thought that was really bad. We were champions and then we finished 7th.
I would agree with that, because even in the time of David Moyes, there was a belief that this was almost a blip and that something could be salvaged or we'd return to something. But I think as the years have gone by and we've all become wiser to what's really going on at this club, we're almost reaching a boiling point as a fan base. And this season, oh man, it's been terrible. I've literally disconnected from the team, not interested in watching football games. It's like, I think I was saying it before, that football's supposed to be our escape. And right now it feels like watching Manchester United is a chore.
No,
I feel like I want to escape from United.
Exactly. Football's supposed to be our escape, but now we're begging to escape from Man United. That's how it is, people. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. But there you go. Tom, have you, in your life, have you seen a worse season by a Man United team than this season?
No, absolutely not. I think this is the worst and the lowest that it can get, really. Personally, I mean, like we say, we're in a dogfight for top 4. I mean, it's not like it hasn't happened before, but we already know, like, when you appoint interim managers, I don't believe in interim managers personally. At any football club, not even just at Man United. When you're appointing interim, it just means either you don't have a plan of who you actually want, or you can't get them, or B, you weren't prepared in the first place to sack your manager originally. And we were neither of those things at the time. And it even proves it now, where it's taken us another, 4 months since having an interim to finally decide on who we want. Not even appoint them, but just decide on who we wanted. And it just shows the lack of credibility with our football structure to identify the right sort of person for the club. At the end of the day, they've done what they've done. Even if it would have been another name, if it wouldn't have been Ten Hag, if it would have been Pochettino, whatever, love it or hate it, they're at the football club. Yeah, you have to support them at the end of the day. They are the football manager, and we support the football club over anything else. any player, over any sort of manager, anybody really. The club always comes first at the end of the day. And the old school motto, I guess, at any football club is no player is ever bigger than the football club, or no one person is. At the end of the day, because the history of this football club goes back well a long time ago, and even in the most recentest of histories, where we've had dark days, I've not seen a season like this.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times we've been cricketed this season? And that's a coined phrase that you never used to associate with Man United. Cricketed.
This is it.
5-0, 4-0, 4-1. Like, honestly, and results haven't exactly improved, have they, really? I mean, 3-2 against Norwich.
Exactly.
They're going down.
Exactly.
They're going down. Bottom of the league. And we're scraping around with these teams. Everton the week before.
And if it wasn't for David De Gea, they would have won that game.
Oh, yeah, precisely. Exactly. And these are the points that we make around the football club. And even in the position that we're in, like we say, with the season that we've had, we don't deserve nothing at the end of the day. And we don't. It's simple facts. There's a lot more hungry young players who play for Arsenal who deserve that opportunity to flourish in the Champions League than some of our players here. Half this squad will be ripped apart in the summer anyway. Same thing with Tottenham. Conte's gone in there. Yeah, he's pragmatic football, blah blah blah. He's got them firing, has he not? He's got. As much as people criticise the defensive players at Tottenham, they have the attacking players that can bail them out in games. And
it's only 2 players in it. It's only 2 players in it.
2 players. Well, no, it's something like us at the moment.
We've got
one player. This is it.
Stop. Listen, big up Bruce Your Teeth. He said Bill Hicks said once heterosexual men aren't born to dance. I think he's talking about more European men.
He's got that completely wrong. That is, sorry to say that, he's talking about your typically white, straight, 2 left feet European men. That's what he's talking about.
I don't think he understands how Africa, the whole continent,
he has got a clue. He's got a clue.
And how everybody dances. Everybody.
And I would even say, as someone who's been I've DJed in 25 or 30 countries, I would even say, even in America, for example, places where there's a very strong black influence, white dancers are way more funky than dancers I've ever seen. I was shocked at the white dancers I saw in the clubs in New York. These guys could move. But because the level there,
environment. It's all about being a product of.
It's all about being in your environment. Like if a white man was in Africa, trust me, he'd learn how to move in certain parts of the.
Have you seen the South African kids? Some white South African.
They're incredible. But South Africa is off the chain when it comes to dance moves. I don't think there's any place like it in the world. If you look at the way they dance, I'm constantly watching them on Instagram, and the new forms of music they develop and the way they move is absolutely unbelievable. It's absolutely out of this world what they can do.
Listen, big up Khalees, Robert Lassie, Maguire. I don't think it's part of our motivation stopping Liverpool contributors. To be honest, I think the motivation is going to Anfield. All right, Maguire. Other than knocking man like Pogba out and all that, knocked Ronaldo out nearly this season. You know what I mean? Other than I just listen, these are your teammates, pal. Why don't you knock other people that you're the opposition out? But Irfan.
Let me just carry on from Tom. Tom made a couple of interesting points first, right? Because he just said something that I've never really thought about before when he said, I don't believe in an interim manager. And when you think about it, it's a fair point, isn't it? Because you've destroyed the motivation for the rest of the season with the players. You've destroyed it. You're like guys, go on holiday for 4 months because this guy's not going to be there in 4 months' time or whatever. So
did you hear, Irfan, just to support your point, did you hear the interview Fred gave about 2 months ago?
No.
Nobody.
What about my age? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. No, you know what, Tom? I've never really thought about it, but it's a damn good point, that. I never really thought about it.
Well, many times we made it. They've literally looked at him and said, you're not going to be here, mate. You're not going to be able to. Listen, over 100 of you in here, please smash a like on this video, people.
But wait a second, but look, let's just analyze that for a minute, though. Look.
Well, listen, let me just come in 1 second and just break this down.
Yeah.
Murta and Fletcher, both of them interview, right? This is from the beginning what I was telling people. Other than the first half an hour, what we saw against, what we saw against Crystal Palace, he is not being able to ask them to play the way he wanted to play. And then we hear rumors now. So everybody was calling me a conspiracy when I said the club has made demands on Ranieri. He has to do this. Maguire has to play because he's captain. McFred have to play because McTominay is they're bigging him up to be the
chosen one, yeah.
Yeah, the chosen one. That's what they're building him up to be. And Fred, because he's got a lot of energy. But both of them are not CDMs. They're both not. Both of them, one of them's a high pressing number 8. The other one is a box-to-box number 8. And that's where we battled. And when he asked for a center midfielder, a holding guy, the club said no to him. And then in an interview, on a match press conference before a game, he was asked, what is Darren Fletcher's job? He said, I don't know. So when I tell people Ralph is not fully in charge because Manchester United have not even given him the full, I'm talking about the full control for him to sort out and maneuver and let people go. He wanted to let Lingard go.
Yeah.
Lingard go, right? Oh no, the club said no. Obviously what happened with Greenwood, we already know what happened. But still, the guy's not played. He should have been let go. At the end of the day, it's simple. Those of you who are calling me conspiracy theorists, when Ralph Ranieri comes out and says, I don't know what the role of Darren Fletcher is, that to me blow everything I said is coming, right, people? He never had control to start with because the club were not willing to give this control to him. And even, you know what, he's clever. Remember the first press conference? He's super clever. First press conference, Ralph Ranieri comes in and he was like, well, maybe I'm going to persuade the club for me to stay for one more year. Why was he saying that? He was saying that to the players because he already knew some of the players might not be able to because they have to think he's only here for 5 months. I think the club should have played it along and look for a manager secretly. But Manchester United's leaked like a sieve, people. They leaked like a sieve, and that could not happen. So that's what he was getting at. Go and watch. If you don't believe me, go and watch his first press conference. He said, I might advise the club to keep me on for a year because there's a lot to do here. He was saying that slight just Irfan, not because he wants the job, because like we said, he's only managed 80-something games this season. In
the last 5 years.
In 10 years, right?
It's 10 years. Yeah.
He managed 90-something games in 10 years. So he was saying that, knowing that maybe some of these players might not want to listen to me. But anyway, go ahead, Irfan, and then we'll go around CM and then to talk.
Well, I mean, look, like I said, the fact that we had interim, but look, what I saw this year is like the wheels were coming off when they bought the club. Let's be honest. When they bought the club, he covered the back for a year or two, right? But the wheels are off. Let's be honest, right? If you just look at the structure, the management, right? Our wheels are coming off. Meanwhile, our rivals who have got a proper structure in place are moving ahead quick. But all that's happened is slowly, the wheels finally came off this year. They finally came off. They were sort of, we had 3 wheels, 2 wheels, 1 wheel. We're on the 1 wheel this season. That's come off this season, right? But then, to me, what happened is the lack of structure, the toxicity at the very top, the fact that they haven't got a clue what they were doing, yeah. And then, we bring in people like Mourinho. We tried. I mean, the biggest joke to me was obviously Moyes' joke. Van Gaal was reasonable, but a guy from a different era, a bygone era, so it wasn't suited to the modern game. But then, what also was the further revelation this year was the fact that, okay, we've got a toxicity of issue with the management, which is the biggest issue, and then it came to the managers. But then this year, it also revealed the players were also part of the problem as well. That's when it finally came off. That's when we finally saw, because when Ollie went, we were like, okay, Ollie, you're a joker, because what you do, you did 18 months of moments football, and you proved. Because let's be honest, in management, you can't blag it for too long. You can blag it for a few months, 6 months. You might get lucky, but you can't blag it for a couple of years. You're going to get found out because your lack of credential will reveal itself to the footballing world. Footballing people are not stupid. They know when you can coach because the level's gone to a different level with Guardiola, with Klopp. I mean, let me just say, watching Norwich against Man United. Who were the athletes and who were the lazy ass? Who were the people that were running with almost had 2 players on their back? When I was watching Norwich, the bottom team, I saw a team of athletes. I couldn't believe when they were breaking against us. I was like, I cannot believe this is the bottom team. Look at the way they break. Every guy comfortable on the ball, every guy athletic, every guy strong. And looking at our donkeys thinking, that's when I thought, players, guys, you need to fix up quick. Because you're embarrassing yourself, but you can't negate your people's desire. You can't do anything about that. Ralph can't make people scream and die for Man United, but Fergie made every player die for Man United, and we keep because of toxicity at the very top. We're getting the wrong players. We're getting the wrong managers. People who don't understand we're a historical team of winners in the modern era. And you've done everything to destroy the mindset of winners. You've destroyed everything. So look,
no accountability always comes from the top.
It does come from the top. But wait, we're nerding.
No on the board.
Yeah.
No accountability in the people who are doing the operation.
No, but
down to the players.
They create the poison. The managers didn't create the poison. The players didn't create the poison. The owners create the poison. Like I said, when Ten Hag, what was the quote I read? Ten Hag said, "Don't go to if you want to go to a commercial club, go to Man United. If you want to go to football, go somewhere else." I think that was the Ten Hag.
It was Van Gaal. Louis Van Gaal.
It was, and it summed it up to a T. And I was like, yeah, we're a commercial. But let me just say though, but sometimes in life, players can still rise above, because if players are personally driven to fight for the club, your keen type mentality, you can still win. If you've got toxic managers, toxic owners, you can see players. But what we saw that is finished. You've only got one guy, Ronaldo, who will do everything possible for the club, and the rest of them, I don't know what they're doing. The rest of them don't know. No, De Gea does. But De Gea is what I love about De Gea this year. De Gea is being what you call keeping it real. Even when we win, we're lucky. He's calling them out, saying that was crap. Even when we win, so I respected that. But every single player, if you're winners, you do that. If you win or lose, you call it out when it's a good performance or not. You don't tap each other's back because you got a lucky 3-2 win like a Norwich. So this is why I respect De Gea. De Gea to me should be captain at the moment. This is the guy who should be captain. Him or Ronaldo should be captain, because they're the ones calling the players out, kicking the players up backside in the press conference. Nobody else is doing that. Nobody else.
Listen, big up Messi FC, big Liverpool fan. Maguire said he loved Gerrard as a child. He's one of us. Yeah. By the way, Jota's coming for you guys. Of course, Jota's coming for us. Listen, big up to every one of you. There's over like almost 120 of you in here. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Hit that notification button. Right, Irfan is a massive cricket guy, right? Massive into cricket. I think I'm scared of being a cricket score. And when Irfan talks about, Tom, when he talks about how much they were breaking on us, this is the bottom of the league doing to us. Yeah. When we already know invigorated, freshened Liverpool that's going for quadruple. They're going for the quadruple, people. Mm-hmm. I'll say it for the people at the back. Liverpool are going for the quadruple this season, right?
Yeah.
They played so many games. I think they played 5 games where we played 3, right? Yeah. What do you think could be tomorrow? But in the way that Norwich were taking us apart and David De Gea, there's only much to say. For us to get out of there with a reasonable, I'm talking about 3 or 4-0 slap, David De Gea has to have one of the best games ever. Tom, do you agree?
Either that or Liverpool have got to leave the shooting boots at home. Oh, I don't know. We've got to fix the pitch.
Have you seen their bench now? Have you seen their bench?
Well,
exactly.
This is the point. I mean, you take it for example. Man City have been arguably one of the best teams in the last 3 years, I guess, for the way that they play, and they've always been the contenders to win the Champions League. Blah blah blah. They took the game away from them in the first 30 minutes of the game. In that FA Cup, first 30 minutes, took the game away from them.
Tom, before you continue, can I just say though, do you think that was a case of almost City gave it to them or Liverpool played well? Because it looked like City gave it to them in the first half. That was a calamity.
I think City didn't perform to the best of their abilities, but when you have the quality players in the right areas, and like you say, with the system that Liverpool play, they can catch you out. So the goalkeeper was a proven proof. Liverpool did it earlier on in the week. In the first game against City in the week where they drew, and Edison luckily enough got away with it. They didn't get away with it that time around. And like we say with our players, I mean, you can just envisage it on your own mind with some of our players where you could turn a double-decker bus in a one-way street faster than you probably could with Maguire on the ball. Like, I mean, it just proves when you see it. And even with our players, I can't think of a midfielder that we have who is press resistant. In a modern system that we want to play, and even like we say where we go in there tomorrow, we can chuck the kitchen sink and play 5 at the back. It's still not going to make much difference at the end of the day. What we need to do is just go with what we've been doing more recently. Just stick with the same formation that you trust. Don't be messing about with any of this like false nines and different shapes, playing really out wide players and trying to play into Liverpool's hands. Just play the way that you've been playing. Because at the end of the day, the one thing that I take into every game, and it doesn't matter about the opponent. If you're going to lose going out fighting. That's what you need to do at a big football club. If you're going to lose, you lose the right way, not down tools, wave your arms around, blah blah blah. And at the end of the day, we'll get what's coming to us at the end of the day, and the performance will show if some of these players do have a future. Because this is a big game, regardless of what anybody says. It's not a big game, not just a big game in people in terms of Liverpool and in the league or anything. Honestly, I've got to that point now where I'm personally immune. I've got the anaesthetic. It's in my arm. I am immune to anything to do with Liverpool or Manchester City. Focus on us. This is what we need to do at the current time. We need to focus on ourselves.
Exactly.
And anybody who goes out there like we do in performance-wise and everything, just leave everything on the football field. Everything.
No, exactly.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
But they won't, Tom. We know that.
But they won't. Well, I think a few of them. I think a few of them will do, Nuruddin, because I think a few. I think a few of them have got some. They've got something to prove at the end of the day. Like we say with players like such as Maguire and stuff, where he got asked obviously in a recent interview, "Is the captaincy weighing down on you?" and stuff. That's something that he's going to want to turn around and turn right.
Well,
You've got the same thing with such as Tellez, for example. He'll want to put a main stroke for that left back spot possibly next season ahead of Luke Shaw. We've got players like Elanga and stuff as well, young players who want to express themselves and stuff. So at the end of the day, you just go there with a plan and stick to it. If we're losing 3-0, stick to it. I don't care. Don't abort it and play 5 at the back. Stick to the plan and just stick to the idea that we're going with at the end of the day, because we've got nothing to lose. We've got nothing to play for. Just stick with it.
Well, there we go. Big up, Tom. Listen, Sia, I'm going to come to you. How do you see tomorrow's game? And do you agree with Tom? Because Tom looks like somebody who's been on a nice holiday. He's sounding more positive.
I won't be after tomorrow, trust me.
He's sounding more positive to him. Break the game down. How you in your head envisage the game going tomorrow? Well, by the way, I just want to say quickly, condolences to Ronaldo and his wife. Apparently, they lost their baby. She was pregnant and they lost the baby. I've had lots of friends who've been in similar situations, and it's heartbreaking when the partner is, going through pregnancy and for one reason or the other, they lose the baby. So, condolences to them on the loss of their unborn child.
Liverpool put a post out as well.
Yeah. Listen. My heart goes out, and also, you know what? Big up to a man like Van Gaal. He's reacting to the treatment of the prostate cancer, and he's doing well. Listen, also, my heart goes out to the people in Palestine, man, getting terrorized. This third holiest site for the Muslims around the world, 1.5 billion Muslims around the world. Third holiest site, Alaska Mosque, and what's going on outside of there. So solidarity with the Palestinians. But CM, go ahead. Tell me in your head how you envisage tomorrow. How do Man United keep it to? We don't get cricketed. We don't get cricketed tomorrow, basically.
It's going to sound basic, but we need more effort. I think for the past few days, I've been literally trying to think, how is this game going to go well? How are we going to somehow get a result? And every time I come to a conclusion, there literally isn't any solution. Like, I've been looking at the way Manchester United are playing now. Last game against Norwich, they had so many counter-attacks. We were so open. And if it wasn't for their lack of quality in the final third, we would have got absolutely smashed. And then we're coming up against Liverpool now, who are fighting for something. They're chasing Manchester City. They're chasing multiple trophies in this season. They want to end this season well. They want to keep the momentum rolling. And I can't see anything else but a loss. And if it's a draw, it's going to be one of those situations like what Tom said, either Liverpool shooting boots are left at home, or it's a situation where we've absolutely robbed it, because Manchester United at this point of time, they're playing with a lack of desire, a lack of effort, which is something that has been almost trickling down ever since the previous manager, Ole, was sacked. And then, like you guys said, the motivation to bring in an interim manager, everybody knows this season is over once you make a decision like that.
But still, we didn't just have that. We had interim.
Yeah. No. Hold on. We had caretaker, actually. Caretaker, interim. Then we have technical directors on the bench. Make up the coaching staff. We've got to make up the numbers. Don't forget.
There we go. But see, if you try to be positive as much as you can, where do you see Man United getting anything out of this game? I mean, it's incredible to envisage that because they've not shown. And I see the way Norwich players were running at Man United. I asked that to Tom. Do you think when you give people like Diaz, Jota, Salah, Mane, all of them, for Firmino off the bench, when these guys are all battling to want to start, they've always got like 5, 6 forwards now. Can you see anything? And also the Anfield crowd as well, fighting for our blood.
It's a big ask, you know. I remember Delo and Telles, they got 8 alive. They couldn't defend for anything, and going forward they weren't as great as well. I remember Telles, he came in as a guy with a reputation with a wicked delivery, and his deliveries have been so poor, and we don't really get a lot of players in the box anyway. If it's not Ronaldo and maybe someone else on an odd occasion, there's not a lot of guys entering the box for our team. So our attack's very weird, it's very disjointed, there's not a lot of fluidity and movement, which you would expect of a top team. Our wingers, they do switch sides, but not very often, and it's not logical. It's just, I'm gonna switch sides for the sake of it because I'm not doing well here. I'm like Sancho, he was on the right, he'll switch to the left because he's not getting enough of the ball. It's not a solid game plan. There's no fluidity, no movement, and a lot of the reason where even when we in the midfield, everybody's so far apart. There is no connection. Like, I remember when Ragnick was initially coming in, we were speaking about having combinations to build up play, build up that attacking play. It's impossible to have combinations when players are so far apart on the pitch, and then we can't control the games because we're giving away the ball constantly. And let's face it, we don't have the midfielders, we don't have the players to be able to be a good ball retention team. So even against the smaller sides, we're struggling. So, against these big teams, we have absolutely no chance. And on the off chance that we do win a game, you can guarantee that it probably wasn't a great performance, and it's like a smash and grab.
There we go. Listen, I just want to go just to give you a couple of things about tomorrow's game, a couple of bit more facts. Jordan Henderson, Joe Matip, Diego Chico could all return to the side after they were benched at Wembley. So he rested those 3 for the game. Manchester United will hope to welcome Rafael Varane back with a minor injury, which saw the defender miss the past two matches. Midfielders Fred and Scott McTominay are struggling to overcome respective hip-foot issues. Luke Shaw is sidelined. Luke Shaw is out for the season. Cavani is also out for the season, people. Because if he was Uruguay, that boy Cavani, he plays when he wants. Liverpool are unbeaten in 7 Premier League meetings with Manchester United. 7 people. 1-4, drawn 3. The Red Devils have failed to score in 4 of their past top flight trips to Anfield, with 3 of those match finished 0-0. United's last away goal in the fixture was scored by Jesse Lingard in a 3-1 defeat in December 2010. Isn't that where he got sacked? What's it in Jose?
Mourinho got sacked. Yeah. Can you remember that game though with were it under Van Gaal with Mata?
Yeah.
And he had that absolute blind. I think that was that the last time we won at Anfield.
Yeah, that's the last time we won at Anfield.
And look at how long ago that was, guys.
So Liverpool have won 10 consecutive top-flight home games and are unbeaten in the league at Anfield this season. Jurgen Klopp's side have lost only once in their last 24 games in all competitions, one in a home defeat to Inter Milan in the Champions League. Mohamed Salah scored 7 goals in the past 5 matches against Manchester United in all competition. There we go, people. You see that breakdown. We give you the real Irfan. I'll come to you, bro. Obviously, I saw clips being shared all over social media when I was at the wedding, and there was clips on Instagram and Twitter and stuff where literally Ronaldo scores that last goal, and Maguire does not go and celebrate the goal. Everybody, apart from David De Gea, everybody runs towards Ronaldo and celebrates. He's not. We also saw footage of Ronaldo acting like a captain, try to G them up in the tunnel. And then we're also seeing Maguire posting in his own Instagram, posting videos. People were sending to. I don't follow these people. People are just sending me these clips. Saying, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? He's posting him passing the ball a couple of times. That's what he's posting. I mean, it's just absolute the brass neck of that guy. The brass neck of that guy. For probably the worst captain in the history of Manchester United Football Club. We have a history over 100-something years. Before even we call Man United, it was called Newton Heath, people. He is the worst captain, the worst leadership. Have you ever known in your scene to be watching Man United worse captain than this guy?
No, not even close. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really, I don't want to get, because whenever you mention his name, I get this depression. I can see it in my system. It's starting to take over because I don't even know how this guy's a pro, to tell you the truth. When I watch him play sometimes, I don't know how he's just not a Sunday League guy. I watch him. I cannot believe that this guy is the captain of the club because, I mean, look, his season is summed up by that back kick on Ronaldo's head. That's how this guy...
On Pogba.
No, sorry, Pogba. Yeah, sorry, Pogba. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, talk about a guy who's got no poise, no athletic ability, no strength, no stuff. Compare him next to what's he called? The Liverpool centre back.
Van Dijk.
Just put him next. Do videos of these two. Watch how they stand. Watch how they walk. Watch how they run with the ball. One is a complete imposter, total imposter. One cannot cope with the pressure of playing Man United, not even a little bit, not even like, maybe cope on a couple of days. This United team and the pressure is way too big for this guy, way too big. But then his ego is so massive that he because he's got the owners behind him, because he's a commodity, an £80 million commodity. Yeah, he's trying to push back. He's trying to say, no, I'm the real deal. Look, I play for England. Don't you understand? Respect me. He's asking for respect.
I mean, he scored for England.
Zero respect.
He scored for England. He slid on his knees and he's doing that to United fans.
I never understand this with England, though. I mean, you've got young players out there who play in those positions. Like you've got Tomori, for example, over in Milan and stuff, pulls off absolute blinders. And then you have people like Maguire who do what they do at the foot, just at normal club level. And then you go to international level. Same thing what you just said, Irfan, there, where if you compared players similar to what Maguire, I mean, I think he needs to go and get his eyes checked. Anybody who watched the Everton game, I mean, he's shouting on ball against his own player.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you can't even read the game. He's not even reading the game properly.
But
that's
Tom,
how bad it must be.
Tom, like, I don't know if you understand how narcissists work. For example, I'll use that example, where I don't see a guy who's going to himself saying, you know what, I need to fix up. I need to sort myself.
Yeah.
I see a guy who's saying, putting two fingers up to all the United fans and saying he's crap and saying, how dare you criticize me? Don't you know who I am? Because his ego is so massive. But his playing is so shoddy. It's unbelievable, this guy. Unbelievable. He like I said, Stones or whoever covers his ass for England, right? But he's got no one to cover him, Man United. He is completely naked and bare. He's been exposed every minute of every game. This joker, right? Absolute buffoon of a player. The hurt. My wish for next year already is, I don't care how we do, but as long as Ten Hag gets rid of this guy as captain, that'll make my year. That's how little I'm starting from for next year, next season. That would be like, I'll feel happy. I don't care if we lose, but as long as this Ten Hag sees this comedian for what he is, that'll make me happy. But on to Liverpool, for example. Now, look, I've been watching more Liverpool's games. I don't like to watch them, but I have to admit that because I always try to understand. I understand City's machine, but I'm always trying to work out, so what makes Liverpool tick, right? And it's a humble club, whether we like it or not, on the infrastructure of what it is. They buy very clever. They know how to buy, and there's no egos out of control. And Klopp has instilled in them to that you die for the club. Like Fergie had. They've got exactly the same.
There's so many similarities there, man. There's so many similarities.
There's so many. It's like every guy dies for the club. Henderson's got no problem sitting there watching Fabinho do the business, and he comes on. And this is the guy that's the leader, the driving force for the team is Henderson. But they are all got the desire to win like Fergie's team. They've all got the keen mentality. All of them have there. There's no issues with that, right? There was a little bit of issue maybe with Salah and Mane at some point, but even then they've knuckled down and they're all about the team, yeah? Now, looking at the game, right? If I was to say to you, we're going to get beat 7-0, I'm not crazy to say that, because we could easily get beat 7-0, easy. But I've got a feeling, that they're so confident that even on their worst performance they could have, they'll still beat us 2-3-0 on their worst performance of Liverpool tomorrow. Now, watching them, that I can't see them. Now, the way I look at it, because someone asked me the other day, and I said to myself, well, look, right, if we go by the season, it'll be a 3-4-0 loss to us, maybe 5, right? If they're on fire, it could be a 6-7-0 loss. And if they feel sorry for us, it might be a 2-0 loss, right? And it'll only be a 2-0 loss if we stick 5 in midfield. If we stick 5 in midfield, we've got a chance of keeping the score down, because they're going to run through us all day long tomorrow, all day long. I mean, to be honest with you, watching them tomorrow, I just don't know what we can do tomorrow. But all I'm praying for is that for some reason Ralph comes up with some tactical genius to kind of basically stop the midfield.
They're not going to be willing to do it. Listen. They're still feeling sorry for themselves because all they got the sack, and he came on them. There's no accountability. I don't blame the players, because the players have to fear. They have to fear and that the board, the ownership, they're going to come down hard on them. They have no fear. Yeah,
but fear works in lots of ways, because I was captain of my team as well. I captain football, I captain cricket, and I understand fear, because what the coaches used to say to me on one side, take me away, and what it is fear starts with yourself. You have to fear in yourself that, am I doing a business? Because look, even in my DJ world, everybody, whether you're a creative or you're a sports person, the first thing you got to get past is what we call imposter syndrome. Yeah. Am I fit enough? Am I the real deal to do my job? Can I really do it? Because if you're not an egomaniac and you're not a narcissist, you do think about imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is what drives you to be the best you can be, yeah? And at some point, when you've proved it, you throw the cobwebs of imposter syndrome away. Something that Harry Maguire does not know what imposter syndrome is, but someone needs to teach him what it is, because he's the epitome of it. Right now, look, when you look at Man United, with the fact that the imposter syndrome is not there, what it is that the egos and the lack of drive because of the toxicity top is basically destroyed any semblance of trying to fight for the club. It's gone. Ronaldo is the only guy that I see that's got it, that will do anything, because his pride to win is so deep, his thing to win. But like, look at the rest of the team, it's just like, I just can't wait for this season to end. I just cannot wait for it to end. Right? I can't wait for it to end. No matter how much we analyze Man United, we cannot analyze our way out of this, because it is, like I said, it is worse than a Greek tragedy. It is, a Greek tragedy's got nothing on Man United this season. So look,
Ralph, I mean, I've seen Comedy FC. Here we go. But actually, it's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore.
Meridian, I told you, I don't know who knows what Greek tragedies are, but they're the dramas of dramas. You can't make up dramas more than you can with Greek tragedies. They understand how theatre and how life and the twists and turns of life, and they're thousands of years old. But
this people remember that.
Yeah, they did it. But this season alone, I swear to God, if I said to you at the start of the season, this is what's going to happen with Man United, this is what's going to happen with the players, nobody said, you can't even make it up. You cannot make this stuff up.
Listen, in therapy, I mean, we predicted it's going to either go two ways. We said it's going to unravel. Everything is going to be found out. We did say that. Ronaldo, everybody.
But you said, look, for example, just on the player-to-player psychology of players, right? This is where that frail Man United, because their egos, everything shattered. Tomorrow they're going to have so much fear tomorrow, like never. I can't think of, like, if I was in that dressing room and I'd coming up against Liverpool tomorrow, I would be pooing my pants, because I could not. The fear tomorrow, United's team it's going to go through the roof. Yeah, and we don't have enough players to fight. So I can't. Like I said, I'm hoping that Ralph pulls out a tactical masterpiece to try and stop them from playing.
I don't think they're going to listen to tactics. They've not listened to it all season, Irfan. I don't think they're going to just turn it on for tomorrow. You can't turn it on. That's the thing I want to let people into that. It's not a tap you can turn on and turn off. Tom, I'm going to come to you. Did what I explained about Maguire not celebrating the goal expose the absolute 3 or 4 disjointed teams within the team? Because that's what people see.
Well, I think we already know that there's been disruption in the dressing room. Yeah, there is a split, and the split, for anybody who doesn't know, is the English players, the English contingency, and the foreign players. They were split over the manager, which they shouldn't have any say in anyway. They were split over Ralph Rangnick coming in. like we say, when they down tools after the first 30 minutes against Palace, they were split on his tactics as well, Nuruddin. And
Yeah.
like we've said before with this team, they aren't a team. I'm sorry, they aren't a team. I watch proper teams play, and I mean proper teams that have been built for years. This Liverpool team you'll see tomorrow, that is a proper team. Everybody knows where everybody is on the areas of the field, around the field. That's years of gelness, of working together, pre-seasons. That is what you call a team. You don't look at Liverpool's team and think there's one standout social media star, there's one, glamorous model or anything, or a fashion designer in that team. You don't look at it like that. You look at Man United, you have a 300 million, follow Instagram, Twitter followers up front for us. Love it or hate it, obviously he's done what he's done in the game and that. You have, all these different winners and stuff. I know a lot of those Liverpool players that went to Liverpool, before they even went to Liverpool, they'd won nothing. They had won absolutely nothing in the game. But you know what? They were good prospect development players you could fit into a system. And this is where we need to get to. With a new manager, even with Ralph, he's trying to do it with the young players, the likes of Alanga and stuff, fit them into a similar system where every day in a modern day game of attacking football, with any manager, what's the most important thing? Either having the ball or pressing. Manchester City's philosophy is around the possession style of the game. Liverpool's is the high press, win the ball in the opponent's half and score within 10 seconds. That is the two different models that we've played. We've already played the Man City model and got smashed 4-1 a couple of weeks back. We're going to play exactly the same thing, the opposite to it tomorrow, with a high pressing. And like I said with my previous point, we haven't got press-resistant players. Same thing like you said with Maguire not celebrating the goal and stuff. There is a massive split with the team. We know this. Like I say, when you appoint an interim manager, there's no authority. There's no person really there to drum it all together. I mean, this is the point.
The only way an interim works, if you got a board and you got owners who will demand everything of these players, who would go and see these players and tell it to their face that you're not getting no contract, you're not getting any.
Well, this is the thing, and this is one of the reasons why, in hindsight, I actually love a lot of the Spanish clubs and how they work with the politics side of it. Because you look at such as the Barcelona president, for example, Joan Laporta, completely stonewalled Ousmane Dembele's demands. He was demanding the highest ever contract that they were going to give for a player who hardly plays for them. He told him straight to his face, no. Simple as that. There's the door. If you don't like our terms, the door is there. And this is how Manchester United need to be. But we don't have these figures behind the scenes. We don't have the Sir Alex Fergusons of the world, the David Gills anymore. These people are in the past. We don't have your Michael Edwards like Liverpool do, for example. We've said before, we have bankers and we have financial advisors. That is all we have at this football.
Giving bonuses out like it's going out.
Well, this is it as well. And like we say, when do you ever see, and I'm talking at the highest level of a European club, where your star players or just any player in general extends a contract mid-season? You don't see it. Exactly. Whenever do you see it at Man City? When Fabinho was signing on an extra year or an extra 2 years a couple of years ago, it was always at the end of the season. Same thing with a lot of City's key players. Same thing with Liverpool's players. Salah's contract, they could get it signed, sealed and sorted tomorrow if they want and just give him the money that he wants. But they're negotiating. They want to hold it out till the end of the season and then everything's off the table. You don't have anything to play for and you can focus on these matters. Just like we need to focus on with the manager. And this is the problem. And like we say, we're going to such as the game tomorrow with the divide that we do in the team. At the end of the day, just put all matters aside. Like I've said before, what I would do, you go out there with a plan. I don't care if you're 3-0 down, 4-0 down. If you, God forbid, it gets up to about 6 or 7-0. You stick to the plan throughout. Don't abandon it after 30 minutes. If Ralph wants you to press high intensity for 90 minutes, you press high intensity. Pull a ligament, pull whatever you want. Because you've already pulled the season for yourselves.
Boom.
Because half of you aren't going to be here anyway at the end of the day. Half of you are not going to be here either for contract reasons or a new manager wants nothing to do with you. And at the end of the day, you need people to do the jobs properly at this football club. And like we say, structure and everything will hopefully improve over a couple of years. But you go into a game tomorrow, like Irfan said, you're in that dressing room tomorrow. Who's leading you? Who is honestly leading? Who's going to lift the morale in the dressing room when you're 5-0 down? What you're going to do? What you're going to do? You're going to get the stereo. I'll tell you what you're going to do. You get the MP3 player out and you put some tunes on. No emotional team talks, no huddles, no nothing. We have no leadership qualities in this team. And like I've said, we're not a team, we're individuals. And that is the basis that we can say of it. Individuals with high wages, high social media followings, and a PR spin for a club. And it'll get shown tomorrow.
It's certain players, right? Pogba got booed, didn't he? Pogba got booed. And the season Maguire's had, the season Rashford has had to scapegoat Pogba. Oh my God. The family, some of the families need to actually look at their faces and stop. Listen, as Pogba's agent acted up, has Pogba wanted to get out of here 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Yes, he wanted to. The club decided to keep him, and now he's going on a 3, right? That's the club's fault, mate. That's not his fault. So the idea of you booing him and singling out him, to me, is down to your own prejudice, mate. It's down to you don't even know why. Because to me, you would boo everybody. And it also shows you how nobody in his teammates, how divided the dressing room is. Nobody's come out on their Instagram or on their Twitter and condemned some of the fans for booing Pogba. It shows, you know what? The silence of that is deafening. Well, the likes of Maguire, Spurs are coming out saying, "Oh, you can't be booed." Like,
but you know the thing that they're saying, Nuruddin. You know the thing. Oh, we've done it all behind the scenes. We do it in the dark. We don't do it in the public eye.
Oh, BS.
Well, this is the thing. But this is what we do
in the dark. They do nothing in the dark. They don't know what darkness is.
No, they don't.
See, am I going to come to you on this point?
Nuruddin, wait a second. But the subtle, latent bigotry of calling out a foreign black player who is just Pogba, it was just there. It just revealed itself. When they booed him, who wasn't the worst player, but they revealed that old Mancunian sort of old school footballer mentality. They revealed it all to me. So it was shocking to me.
By the way, those fans exist within every football club. But CM,
they do.
Go ahead, CM. What do you think to that about Pogba?
Like I said, I have an agreement that if you're gonna boo the whole team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why is it always an individual thing? Because in the end of the day, if we always talk about football being a team sport, those 11 players out there are contributing to underachieving. So, for example, we didn't play well against Norwich. We did get the win. So be happy because we got the win. But if you're not happy with the performance, boo the team. Why are you booing Paul Pogba?
And you will boo Maguire before you will ever boo because he's the captain and he shows a performance like that.
But Nuruddin, like I said, I just said it's personal prejudices. You're revealing your own personal prejudice. That's what you're doing.
They're not even aware why they're booing him, why they're singling him out.
Because they're not aware of what personal prejudice is. They don't understand it.
Yeah.
They don't understand it. Clearly they don't.
Listen, we could be here all night, all day, people. We could be here all night, all day. Listen, you gotta smash a like on the video. Big up Saeed, man. Yes, Saeed. Listen, me and Saeed are gonna be on his channel tomorrow. We're gonna be doing a watch along from here. Tomorrow it's gonna be interesting, and we're gonna go straight live on United Real Therapy for that because we're definitely gonna need therapy. So I'm gonna be thinking about things that you can do, films that you can watch. Irfan hopefully will be on, and we'll talk about music that you can listen to that can get you away from Man United. Tom will be on here telling you about bars that you can check out in Barcelona.
Are you still there, Tom? Are you still in Barcelona?
No. I've come back.
Man. I'm due a trip soon, you know. I'm due a trip soon. I'm due a trip back there. I'd like to.
Barcelona's a beautiful city, by the way. But listen, I would say to this tomorrow, Man United. I said it like on the title says. It could be cricket score incoming. Yeah. I genuinely feel that that's what's happening. But the biggest thing for me is that don't scapegoat one player. I remember the season before last, they scapegoated towards the end of the season. People abused Pogba as well. So this is a regular thing. There are people who are on the Stretford end who would come out with their bigotry. Regardless how much they try to hide it, it will always reveal itself.
Always reveal itself.
Always come out.
We've watched football long enough to know the mindset. You know, like I said, Nuruddin, you know, me going to watch City in 1981 at Main Road and looking at the people that go to football in the racist 80s of England and then going to Man United and seeing in the Stretford End what I saw, I never forget as a child. I'll never forget it. What I saw, so I understand the makeup, and then I studied the science, the social science between what kind of country this country is, and it's tragic that we still have an element who can't see this for what it is. He just can't. Even in the modern age of international footballers who basically civilized English football, whether we like it or not, they brought everything to this country to make it a great football league. And yet you can't see your own prejudice for what it is. Because let's say Pogba wouldn't be the Pogba. You put Pogba in a great team with a proper Kante style player, even shift him up. This guy, let's feel sorry for the guy. I feel sorry for him because to me, he's wasted part of his career.
It's not even his career though. He's wasted his life.
Yeah,
he's brought his family over here. He's trying to bring his kids up and everything. Yeah. He's had all these burglaries, robberies, and everything. Yeah. The crimes that he's had as well.
I just want to remind people. He's been associated with Manchester United, even though he left and came back.
He's 14 years old.
14 years old, yeah.
And listen, we like Rashford. We like what he did off the pitch. Yeah. We love him. But on the pitch, he's been shocking. Maguire's been shocking. Bruno, in that game, I was told, because I didn't watch the full game, Bruno was shocking. The whole team was shocking, like CM said. Yeah. And single him out.
Shocking. It was
ironic. I couldn't.
Exactly. You know what? Every aspect of it. The fans are exposing themselves. The players are exposing themselves. The board got exposed for the past 10 years, and all this what's happening now is being incoming. And with Ollie, they sold us this DNA. Man United, you can't recreate Sir Alex Ferguson. All of that has to go. That's why I'm happy Ten Hag's coming in and all of that. And Darren Fletcher needs to head out. I don't want any ex-United players who are part of the DNA to be there. I'm even thinking, I don't even want Van Persie. Even though he might be good for us, I don't even want him because I'm just so sick and tired of anything that's associated. You can't keep harping on back to what is now a Wikipedia page. It's part of our history. But football is about now, what you're doing now. You're only good as your game. It's about what you're doing now, not about Man United now, for me, at a Wikipedia page. That's what we are, people. We have been for the past decade. And if we're not careful, we're going to go into it. So big up Daryl for the therapy. Listen. Tune in tomorrow night. Hopefully, I'll get you guys on tomorrow night as well, whatever the result is. So, look, please subscribe to Saeed TV. You will see it there tomorrow. It's almost, I think, about 1,000 short, 1,500 short of 50,000. He's absolutely working his socks off. That's his main job now. So please go and give him a subscribe and a like on his videos. We will be live tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. It's the first time me and Saeed are going to do a watch along together on his channel. So it's going to be very interesting. He's chosen, what a game he's chosen. What a game he's chosen. But big up to every one of you, every one of you. And like I said, big up Super Nick. Please remember to like up the live, comment, share, subscribe. That's what it is. Seriously. Comment, share, subscribe to the channel. We could go long and on a therapy session. I wanted this to be 40 minutes, but obviously there's so much to discuss as Man United, so much. And obviously the top emerging that is Fabrizio Romano has revealed, here we go. Like the best kept secret in football.
Is it? So it has been revealed, yeah.
No, it's been that nothing has changed from a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Like, the contract is ready to be signed and they're working out a compensation deal with Ajax. But I was happy that, this is another thing, I know some of you might think so, big up to any Ajax fans who are watching. On a footballing side, I wasn't happy that you lost the cup final. But I was happy because Manchester United believe that Ten Hag's going to come in and he's going to come in like Irfan. He's going to come in like a miracle worker. No, it ain't going to be. Man United at the bottom. Man United could finish with the worst points tally ever. And Man United fans are already thinking about, if he doesn't win in the first 2 years, he's going to get the sack. No. Know your place. Know who you are, Man United. We're not that club anymore. I don't know what you're onto. That team with Ollie in the lockdown peaked the way it did. And the second place it was when everybody was playing to an empty stadium. Yeah. When the crowd came back in, Ollie, everybody got found out. His coach got found out. Players like Maguire got found out. So, and all of that, the captaincy, all of that, everything unraveled. But the biggest thing I will say to these people is that I'm glad they lost because Ten Hag ain't gonna come in by himself. It doesn't take one person. It's humanly impossible for one person to absolutely sort out everything in a football club. If the structure's not right, if Matt Judge is not removed, people, then I know. What I'm gonna know is this. If Matt Judge is not removed, I know, then I'll know Murta has no power. Then I know Darren Fletcher is a joke. Because Glazonomics guy will always be in charge. And all this you're expecting, a huge summer. No, truncated season. Everything's shorter in terms of preseason shorter, transfer window shorter. Why? Because we have a Winter World Cup, people. I remind you again and again, this club moves like a slug. Like a slug. That's what it moves like. So all these massive ins and massive outs, none of that. Next season, you're in with McFred. And honestly, I'm almost kind of shocked at aspect of it that Ten Hag will take this because he's a manager on his way up and he's taking a huge risk coming to this comedy. Absolute shambles, absolutely Wikipedia FC because that's what the whole marketing thing's built around. Oh, look at just go this game. We live in the past. Liverpool were doing that for 30 years before they won the league. They were living in the past.
Yeah.
We need to stop living in the past and live in the present, people. We need to be present. But tomorrow, I'm sorry to say, I've searched my head in every which way. It is going to be a licking. So get ready for the licking, people. Do something in the day. Do something nice for yourselves. Make sure you got some therapy to go to other than tuning in for us. That show tomorrow is going to be very short because we've got a podcast to shoot as well. But so tomorrow, people, tune in to ATV. We're going to be on there getting in the build-up and also building up to the game, doing a watch-along. So peace, love, light. I'd like to thank everybody. CM, man-handed his dissertation. Congratulations, CM. Big weight of
congrats.
Handed it in, bang. Congrats. There you go. 2 assignments to go, and he's done out here. He's done out of uni, man. He's gone. CM, let them know where they can find you, and I know that's going to be some great content coming up now. Ten Hag's coming. And it's going to be, the twins. The twins. Those of you who not checked it out, go and check it out. See them. Let them know where they can find you, bro.
First of all, thank you very much for having me on Nuruddin. Big up the panel, whole therapy army. CM22 ENT on all socials, YouTube and Twitch.
There we go. CM22 ENT people. There we go. Irfan, let them know where the people can find you, man.
Well, for Twitter, it's just politics only. And for music and everything else, it's Instagram. Same name, same everything.
Talk to me, Tom.
You can find me nowhere because I'm going to be on social media blackout for the next week.
These are exclusive reports. Exclusive to you, he is. Yep.
Listen, Tom, you're coming on tomorrow night, mate. You're coming on.
I don't hide away from a fight, and it's some journalist one on Twitter.
We have to come on if we lose. We really have to.
Imagine if we win.
Nah, I doubt it.
Well, that's the thing, Tom. To sum up this season, I can't come up with a better quote than "It's the hope that kills you."
Listen, guys, tomorrow I have zilch hope. Zilch. To me, my hope died when I called it out and I said on the 25th of September, I told everybody there were no top 4. If Manchester United, they're not getting top 4. And what Arsenal and Spurs are doing is just an absolute joke. What they're doing is an absolute joke. Soon as any pressure is put on Arsenal, what do? They're like, can you give us that banter trophy back? We're like, no, actually, you know what? For this season, we're keeping it. That banter trophy is certified Manchester United. Shambles FC, mate. Here we go, Comedy FC. We are a Netflix special, people. But peace, love, light. Tune in, like I said, to ATV tomorrow. And then United Real Therapy for the match reaction on there. We're going to be short of time. We'll get you in. And it's going to be drying our sorrows, I believe. I have zero hope, seriously. I have zero hope. But like you said, people like Tom have a little bit of hope. Tom's been on that Sangaria, you know what I mean? It's in Barcelona.
Don't try and pass it off as if you haven't been on the little body, you know. I see it in the corner of the screen. Don't worry.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I
know this guy inside out. You go to his house. If you ever find any alcoholic, it's for his neighbors. It's never for him. He's a water drinker. This guy. His tipple of choice is actually Mango Lassi. That's his tipple of choice.
Mango Lassi.
Yeah.
Best man, Lassie, by the way. You know, you know the fact about it. I'm hurt. I'm herbal teetotal.
Yeah, he is.
I can't even drink tea with caffeine.
Yeah, he doesn't even do caffeine. He doesn't even do caffeine. He's right. He doesn't.
I don't do caffeine, mate. Music is my thing, people. Music this season, this year, more than ever before. After 2 years of lockdown with no music, no raving. There you go. And Airfan's always playing that music for me. So big up Airfan. Love, respect to every one of you. Therapy Army. Next week, by the end of next week, you should have the new channel hopefully ready, and we should have that first podcast. It's going to be very interesting what the topic is going to be. Peace, love, light, win, lose, draw. Bank us out, glaze us out, people. That's how it is. Bank us out, glaze us out. And this club ain't serious, people. Do not fall for the hype. Unless Matt Judge is removed, this club ain't serious. We're going to be here for another 5 years still talking about Glazonomics. Peace.
Peace.